What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a little bit again. Looks like I'm still pretty bad at the whole trying to upload on schedule. But I thought I'd come on here and kind of express some things that I've been thinking about lately. Um, One of those has to do with, you know how, you're going through this whole life thing, and a lot of the times you go through these canon events in your life, and sometimes they're for the better, and other times they're not. It's like a lesson to be learned. But I think what's interesting about it the most is you remember things that you wish you could forget, but can't seem to remember things you don't want to forget. And I think that is stupid. I think it's good that, I guess sometimes it is good, but other times it isn't. I can't seem to remember a lot of when I was little. It, I'm not gonna say I had the greatest childhood, but it wasn't the worst either. But a lot of it was like a blur. It's something I can't quite put into words, but it some moments I do remember, some very fond moments, but it almost seems like there isn't very many. And it's not because I had a poor childhood, but it's something like I'm at a point in my life where the only thing that matters is surviving, paying rent, getting groceries, thinking about when the next check comes, what I'm paying with it. And that makes you miss out on a lot of things. One of which being trying to remember things from the past. Always seems to be troublesome for me sometimes to remember things. I think that since I became an adult, it is probably, it's had its ups and downs, but I think it was good at first. But now that I sit here every night after I get home from work and think and ponder, and honestly, it sucks. to me, the moment you become an adult is when you turn 18. I'm 25 years old. So to put that in perspective, that's 7 years I've been an adult. And I can almost confidently say that it has been the worst 7 years of existing. And granted, yes, I got to do some cool things being an adult, like drinking for the first time, or going out to a bar for the first time, or getting to experience some cool things with friends. Sure, it's great, but besides that, I mean, it really isn't anything else to it besides paying bills and working. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm lazy or anything, but I want more freedom. And I know I'll probably get comments rolling in, well, maybe you should try to create that vision and prosper and move forward. Yeah, easy for you to say. Everybody makes it sound so easy that you could just forge the life you want, no questions asked. And that's just not how it works. It's not in reality. I won't name names, but I have a buddy who kind of thinks in that fashion. Not so much to where he pushes it on you, but he thinks if he does this XYZ, you know, it's gonna be an easy, super easy process, and he won't. And you know, it's rags to riches from there. He's gonna get rich as fuck, and that's that. But I think he figured out this year that that's not how that works at all. One of which was a car purchase that he made. Now, at the time, he had the funds and the down payment to get this said car. This car was right about a $43,000 car. I won't name the car, but it's a V8, and it's a hell of a car. I've driven it a couple times. He's let me drive it, and every single time I had so much fun driving it. But my buddy doesn't have a straight up reliable, well, he has reliable-ish income. What I mean by that is I kind of think of him as a five tools freelancer guy. Now, this means that he goes to customers that need something serviced, whether it be their water heater, may need things, other things serviced, like maybe their grass maybe needs tending to, mulch put in, um, painting something. He's skilled in all those fields, and I commend him for that. It's really cool that he gets to do those things, and you know, gets to have a freer schedule. But I think, you know, somewhere along the line, it all became too much, and it strained him. And he kind of got slow on work come wintertime. And he kind of knew he needed to lock something down, but he didn't. And he ended up paying the price when August came around. Say August, September, October, somewhere around that range. and he fell behind on things, and I was told on a Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. that, oh hey, by the way, I think I'm gonna move back in with my parents. I can't afford to stay here anymore. And you know, me being half asleep, kind of some pretty extreme news to drop on somebody after they have just woken up. Nothing makes sense in the morning. His car ended up getting repoed, and he had to have his parents help him, which nothing wrong with that. I don't um I don't think I'm any less of a person for asking for help sometimes. But I think in that instance, some sort of change needs to be made, right? If you know you're getting in that deep, you need to try to figure out how to prevent that from happening as soon as it starts. And it just snowballed after that for him. And me and him are still friends. He's we, you know, been friends since high school, since junior year, and uh, you know, sometimes shit happens, and I understand that. But because of that, I was in jeopardy there for a little bit. I figured it out though, and everything's good now, and I'm still doing fine. But the moral of that story is, I think that when we grow into adulthood, we're so enthralled by what the world brings and advertising, you know, and presenting credit lines to you and all these other things has us buy into this temptation. And before you know it, we're in so deep that we don't even know where it started when things ended up getting bad or things ended up getting crazy. And it makes us lose sight of friendships, of being able to experience things. And we end up getting so busy and caught up with paying bills and taking care of debt that we forget about people. People that might have meant something to you way back when. And as a generation, that's pretty much all we know. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And as the world grows more and more evil and more violent, I just can't understand why there can't be some good in the world sometimes. It's always power hungry, money hungry companies and people that only care about themselves and have no remorse for the rest of the people in the world. I mean, we're all we got, right? This is it. As of right now, there is no other superior life out there or something that's similar to us. This is it. This is it right here. And so the solution to what I just said is, let's make people suffer. Everyone's suffering. Everybody's feeling everything that's been going on. And it makes me feel sick that we have to live like this. That we can't remember things we wish we could. And we lose sight of friendships, and we lose sight of what it means to actually feel alive. And instead, we're forced to pay rent, and 'cause realistically, I mean, honestly, our generation's never gonna own a house. So let's go ahead and put that to bed right now. That's it. That's the facts. That's what's happening. Everything that the previous generation has told us, if you work hard and you go to college and get a good paying job, then everything will be fine. You'll be able to get that house. You'll be able to have that family. But it was just a lie. It was just a lie. One lie in being that we could afford a house. The second one in thinking that we could get a family. It's more impossible now than ever to have a family, to support a family, to even get a family. Good luck with that. Women aren't any help either. The only thing they seem to care about these days is themselves. And I can't blame them, but it is selfish. But I guess these days all you really can do is look out for yourself. So I can't blame them at the same time either. And I'm not talking bad about them in a sense of they're horrible, evil, twisted creatures, because they're not. They're human too, but the only chance you really have these days of actually maybe trying to find something is turning a girl that bar hops and has one night stands into a person that can love, person to love. And odds of that are slim to none. And the good girls that actually do exist and care about people are already happily occupied. And that's just it. Fortunately, there isn't anything you can do about that. But besides the point, it the world is just it's cooked. And this is all I can think about lately. I can't think about anything else. And it's weird because I don't know if anybody thinks on the same level I do in that sense. I seem to give critical thinking to life all the time, I feel like, and whenever I ask somebody else about it, they act like they've never heard of something like that before. Or they try to shoot what I say down in the sense of, oh, that's not true. That's not how it is. But that is actually how it is. But What can you do? You can't make people understand that. And I think that a lot of people, specifically a generation behind us, are naive to that. They just turn a blind eye and act like it doesn't exist. Same with the rest of the world. They turn a blind eye and think the world isn't in as bad of a state as they think it is. Think everything's fine and dandy. But I think here soon, not that long from now, they're gonna find out what the world really is, how bad it is. I don't know. Just thought I'd lay some thoughts out there that I've been thinking of lately. Like and subscribe. Thanks. See you.